but I'm going to just dedicate this this episode to my old coworker and sometime friend, Brian. Rest in peace, bro. What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. I am Jay. This is Jay's Life Out Loud, a channel about nothing, but it's about something. What's on my mind? I was watching a movie, new series on Netflix, and it's called Forever. And the series is basically about two black teens and how they fall in love with each other. They old childhood friends from elementary, and in their high school years they reconnect and they end up dating and falling in love. And it got me to thinking about me and my wife. And we're going on 5 years together, but we've known each other since high school. And what hit me was how these two teenagers started talking and how they rekindled a friendship, but it was much more. And it was just really how everything started and how fresh it was, and how, the puppy love stage, and, the enjoyment of being around each other 24 hours as much as possible, talking on the phone, texting each other, the different little trials and tribulations you go through at the beginning of a relationship, getting to know each other, outside influences that come in and try to either keep y'all apart or keep y'all together, the good, the bad, and the ugly of the beginning of a relationship. But usually it's more of the good romance. Like, the love is everywhere. Y'all starting something new and it feels so good, and everything that's happening is fresh, is new, it's exciting. You can be at work and your day is brighter. You going through something and it don't matter because you got that person. You can't keep your mind off that person. It's nights when y'all just lay together, with sex or no sex. Don't get me wrong, the sex is even better, but and it just like the whole world could be falling apart. But as long as y'all are together and up under each other, everything is all right. And that feeling, you would hope and wish that feeling would last forever, but it doesn't. The feeling when you first get together is something that happens naturally. It's nothing that you have to push forward on or push into place or force into place. It's just, if y'all vibing, you got to excuse me. I've been drinking hibiscus juice for 2 weeks. I keep making it and drinking it all up. But if y'all vibing, man, that vibe feels so good. I don't care if it's winter time or, that's when the cuddling gets in and staying indoors. You go out a little bit and, you see different things. You go to a concert, you go into the movies, you having nice dinners together. I remember my wife took me out to a place in Ann Arbor, Michigan, and it was like live jazz and 7-course meal. It was the first time I ever had, a date that was a 7-course meal. And it was like, we really enjoyed ourselves. We got to talk to the young artists that was singing, it was just a whole chill vibe. But I also remember our first date. We had, like I said, we went to high school together, but we just kept in touch on social media. So it was never like, hey, what's up with you, this and that, because I was married and she was married. But years after we both had divorced and we had been dating, we still wasn't, talking. So once that we had that first date was like spur of the moment, like, you want to meet up? Yeah, let's meet up. What you think is close to you? What's close to you? And we got to looking things up, and she was like, well, I don't know if it was me or her, Buffalo Wild Wings wasn't too far, and it was something casual. So we met up, and I will never forget how my wife just kept smiling, and she would put the menu in front of her face, and she was just smiling. And it wasn't like this new school type of love. It wasn't this old weird stuff you hear on social media. It was like old school. It was like Marvin Gaye, Luther Vandross. It was the, that old school guy music. It felt like that. It felt so natural and pure. And this movie reminded me of all those things that start off in a relationship. All those things that you say to that person, that you want to be to them, all the promises that you make. And you can feel it when you know that you know that you know that you know that she's the one. But you get married, you guys move in together, and it's no longer separate places where, you have time apart. If that person has children, you don't have to deal with the children. You at your place, she at hers, or vice versa. And, y'all together, but you have time apart, time to yourself, time to sit back and reflect, time to go do whatever you want to do, and you have your own thing. And then y'all come together. Y'all get married, move together. Now you seeing each other every day. And at the beginning, it's a good thing because you've been wanting to be around this person all the time anyway. Then, as time creeps on, these different responsibilities come into play. If you got children, the children come into play. Grandchildren come into play. Bills, the school year, your jobs, the house. What's going on with the house? Is this? Is that? The electricity may need to be reran. The grass needs to be cut. All these things come into play, which brings stress, outside things consume your time. Work consumes your time. This is better than Kool-Aid, y'all. I just used another bottle, boiled me some of them hibiscus leaves, Add a little raw sugar, you on point. But anyway, yeah, that all those things begin to blur or step into, how can I say it? It begins to water down the romance, health issues, changes in personality, children going through this and that. You know, if you have older and younger children, you know, now you have a blended family, your kids, her kids, or, you know, if it's just one of y'all that has, you know, small children or children that's still in the home, that plays a big part because children need so much. And I say all that to say this, that it comes a point where you're not loving on each other like you used to. You're not taking the time like you used to. I was looking at my wife the other day, and she said, "Why are you looking at me like that?" I say, "You know, why I can't look at you like that?" She said, "You ain't looking at me like that in a long time." And it kind of hurt, but it was a awakening, like, wow. But sometimes you don't think people notice, but they do. And a lot of things go unsaid on how they feel because they don't know, you know, they don't want to be a bugaboo or they don't want to say this or that. And it's for guys and women. And when I look at her like that, it's not a sex thing. It's more like it's a look at my baby. Look at my beautiful wife. You know, look what I have. I'm thankful. You know, I'm not the greatest husband in the world. I don't think I'm not Mr. Fixing around the house and, you know, paying all the bills and, you know, paying all the car notes or whatever the case may be. But I love on my wife. And it hit me today that I really need to get back to really loving on my wife like I used to. And I think a lot of us, men and women, can be in a relationship or a marriage and be in it so long that we forget how we started. And I remember older people used to always say, you know, don't start nothing you ain't gonna continue. You can't get with a person. I mean, you can get with a person and start one way and then end another way. But if both of you guys love each other and care about each other, it no longer flows. Sometimes it doesn't flow like it did at the beginning where it just came natural. Sometimes it takes work. It takes work to get that buzz back, that feeling back, that heat back. You know what I'm saying? And it takes work to keep that going, to keep that fire burning. You know, you done built it up. You know, and the fire, you know, it burns, but you know, sometimes it get a little low. And it ain't enough to heat up a room, but it's enough to keep it lukewarm. I don't know, my pastor always say, you know, God don't want no lukewarm praise. But who wants a lukewarm relationship? Sometimes you got to spice it up. You know, you got to get them seasons. You got to grab that Tony's. You got to grab that Jamaican rub. You got to spice it up a little bit. You need a little hot sauce, whatever it is. the way you used to look at her when you first got together, the way she used to smile at you, whatever it is, put the work in to keep that flame going. You know, I was watching a movie and the guy sent the girl some flowers. And he sent the flowers, you know, it's that big bouquet that's all the roses together and they spread like a big old one big flower. And she said, yeah, it must be something because he definitely didn't get them from the grocery store. And even though the character that sent the flowers, he wasn't a good guy, but it's like, do we take the time to go the extra mile? You know, instead of just, hey, I'm thinking I'm going to grab her some flowers. I'm going to go past Kroger's or whatever grocery store, grab the flowers. I ain't even going to try to get them rearranged or repackaged in another package. I'm just going to pull the price tag off. And, you know, roses is roses. Roses are roses. And a thought is just a thought. But when you go that extra mile, it means the world to a person. We have to go an extra mile for that person in our lives that has our back, that stands right there beside you, that when you get ready to fall, they lift you back up and they keep you going. They push you to be better. They want so much better for you. Sometimes they invest more than you invest in yourself. And it's very important. Let these windows up. My coworker banging his music. It's very important to get back on focus. So I don't know, video cut off, whatever, but love on the one you with. Y'all have a good weekend, a good Friday. Do all that YouTube stuff, you know, like, subscribe, leave a comment, share. And y'all have a good weekend. Peace, 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 peace.